Manchester City wasn't always the dominant force in English and European football that we know today. Their rise began with the club's purchase by the Abu Dhabi United Group in 2008, bringing heavy investments and elevating the Sky Blues to new heights. The end of Pellegrini's era and the first Premier League title before Pep Guardiola, City had already built a strong foundation. Under Roberto Mancini, the club won its first Premier League title in the 2011-12 season in one of the most dramatic finales in history. With Aguero's iconic last-minute goal against QPR, this title marked the beginning of a new era. After Mancini's departure, Manuel Pellegrini took over and kept City competitive, winning the 2013-14 Premier League and 2 English League Cups. However, despite the trophies, the team struggled in the Champions League, and the board sought a manager capable of making the club a European powerhouse. Thus, in 2016, Pellegrini announced he would step down at the end of the season to make way for Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola's arrival and the start of a new era. Pep arrived at the Etihad Stadium in the summer of 2016 after a successful stint at Bayern Munich, where he won 3 Bundesliga titles but fell short in the Champions League. His move to City was seen as a massive challenge, as English football was very different from the German and Spanish leagues, where he had shown with Barcelona. Upon arrival, Pep found an experienced squad, but one in need of change. Key players like Kompany, David Silva, Aguero, and Fernandinho were pillars, but the team wasn't yet at the level of intensity and possession Guardiola wanted. He made key signings straight away, bringing in Ilkay Gundogan, his first signing from Borussia Dortmund; Gabriel Jesus, a young Brazilian prospect from Palmeiras; Leroy Sane, extremely fast from Schalke 04; John Stones, a promising defender from Everton; Claudio Bravo, to replace Joe Hart, who didn't fit Pep's playing style with his feet. Guardiola's first season was one of adaptation and learning. City didn't win any trophies, an uncommon outcome for Pep, but it helped him understand English football and plan for the revolution that would follow. From there, the groundwork began for a team that would dominate English football and conquer Europe. Pellegrini's City and the historic 2016 semi-final before Guardiola's arrival. Manchester City had its best European campaign under Manuel Pellegrini. In 2015-16, the Sky Blues reached the Champions League semi-finals for the first time in history, facing Cristiano Ronaldo's and Zidane's mighty Real Madrid. City had eliminated PSG in the quarters with a decisive performance from Kevin De Bruyne, who scored a stunning goal in their 1-0 win at the Etihad. The semi-final clash against Real Madrid was highly anticipated but ended in disappointment. After a 0-0 draw in England, the citizens lost 1-0 at the Bernabeu, with a deflected goal off Bale's shot. The elimination was a hard blow, especially since City barely threatened their opponent. This game symbolized the limits of Pellegrini's team in the European elite. After this campaign, it became clear that to take the next step, the club needed a manager with a more dominant and offensive approach. And that's where Pep Guardiola would come into play. Guardiola's arrival and the controversy with the veterans. Guardiola has always been known for his relentless ambition and for demanding extremely technical and intense football. His arrival at City in 2016 caused a reality shock for some veteran players in the squad who didn't fit his style. This led to conflicts and controversial departures, particularly with 3 key figures. 1. Joe Hart. The City's iconic goalkeeper Joe Hart was an idol and a starter, but Guardiola required a keeper with refined footwork, something Hart lacked. Pep discarded him in pre-season, bringing in Claudio Bravo from Barcelona. The decision angered fans and former players, but Pep stood firm. Eventually, Bravo faltered, and City signed Ederson, who fit Pep's style perfectly. 2. Yaya Touré. From star to forgotten, Yaya Touré was one of the main players under Mancini Pellegrini, but his relationship with Pep was never good, even during their time at Barcelona. At City, Touré was initially frozen out, and his agent, Dimitri Saluk, made public statements criticizing Guardiola. Pep demanded an apology for Touré to return to play, but even after his return, it was clear he wasn't part of Pep's plans. 3. Samir Nasri, Bony, and other discarded names besides Hart and Touré. Pep also quickly parted ways with Nasri, Bony, and Kolarov, claiming they lacked the physical or tactical commitment he required. Many players were shocked by Guardiola's cold and direct approach to decision-making. Other players who had issues with Pep over the years included Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Leroy Sane, Joao Cancelo, and Raheem Sterling, all of whom were sidelined due to not fitting his style or direct confrontations with the manager. Guardiola's ambition and the cost of the revolution. Guardiola accepts nothing less than excellence. His obsession with control and tactical perfection led him to part ways with even talented players if they weren't fully committed. It was this radical approach that transformed City into a trophy machine, but it also sparked controversies and led to the departure of several big-name players. With his philosophy, Pep led Manchester City to 5 Premier League titles, several domestic cups, and finally, the Champions League in 2023. His revolution wasn't easy, but the results proved he was right. City became a global powerhouse, and it all started with difficult decisions and ruthless cuts. Guardiola's domination in the Premier League since his arrival at Manchester City in 2016, Pep Guardiola has revolutionized English football. His possession-based, high-pressing, and tactical dominance transformed the Sky Blues into the Premier League's dominant force. Let's revisit all the Premier League titles Guardiola has won and how those historic seasons unfolded. Premier League 2017-18, the Centurions' record-breaking, flawless football, and a historic title. City stormed through the Premier League, becoming the first team to reach 100 points in a season. Highest points total in PL history, most wins, most goals scored, largest gap to second-place key players. Kevin De Bruyne, team's best player and king of assists Leroy Sane and Sterling. Explosive on the wings Aguero and Gabriel Jesus. Crucial goals, title confirmed. 15-0 2018. City beat Tottenham and saw United lose to West Brom, confirming the title with 5 games to spare. Premier League 2018-19, the battle against Klopp, one of the greatest rivalries in PL history. Klopp's Liverpool pushed City to the edge, but City won their last 14 games to clinch back-to-back titles with 98 points, just one ahead of the Reds. City beats Brighton 4-1 to seal the title. Liverpool lost just 1 game, but finished with 97 points. Vincent Kompany scored a crucial goal against Leicester at the final stretch, title confirmed. Premier League 2020-21. The return to glory after losing the 2019-20 title to Liverpool, City came back stronger. Pep reinvented the team, opting for a formation without a fixed striker, with De Bruyne and Gundogan playing key attacking roles. City won 21 consecutive games in all competitions. Ruben Dias arrived and transformed the defense. Phil Foden started to shine as a key player, title confirmed. Premier League 2021-22. Another epic battle against Klopp once again. City and Liverpool delivered a historic title race. The title was decided on the final day, when City turned a 0-2 deficit against Aston Villa into a 3-2 victory in just 5 minutes. Gundogan came off the bench to score 2 goals in the historic turnaround. City finished with 93 points. Liverpool with 92. De Bruyne shone and carried the team in the final stretch, title confirmed. Premier League 2022-23. The treble. City started behind Arsenal, but surged in the final stretch to win another Premier League title. With Haaland breaking goal records, the team was unstoppable. Haaland scored 36 goals, breaking PL records. City overtook Arsenal in the final stretch and won the title. Began the journey to the treble, title confirmed. Champions League 2023. The historic City title after years of frustrations. Guardiola finally led Manchester City to the top of Europe, winning the 2022-23 Champions League. Let's revisit each game of this historic campaign. Group stage. City 4-0 Sevilla.
Now on to De Bruyne. De Bruyne! And there is Erling Haaland. And trying to get out of a tight spot. Could shift it onto Grealish. Goes for goal instead. And finds it. Foden might come back to Haaland. Inevitable. It's already Mahrez. Cancelo. And it's tapped in by Ruben Dias for 4.
City 2-1 Dortmund.
As far as Royce. And he's turned in. Now John Stones. Oh! Pick that out. It's an out. Cancelo in towards Haaland. He'd had to to be. It just had to
City
be.
5-0 Copenhagen.
Behind everyone for Haaland. Look at a head out, and back in it comes, another fine save, but look who it's popped up. Erling Haaland is there again. That's Gomez, and it's in again. Not Haaland's doing this appearance. And Mahrez scores with ease. He's there. Grealish to Mahrez. Mahrez in for Alvarez for 5.
City 3-1 Sevilla.
The Rafa Mir is there. He scored now. But there's Alvarez. That's beautifully done. It's Luis. Oh, absolutely beautiful. And Alvarez takes advantage. His options. Mahrez. 3-1.
City advanced first in the group with 14 points. Round of 16. RB Leipzig 1-1 City.
Ball is given away. He's in. Mahrez! Oh! It's in the back of the net. Riyad Mahrez. Stick Edison. Good delivery. It's knocked down. It's equalized. Guardiola.
City 7-0 RB Leipzig. Haaland scores 5 goals at the Etihad, and City dominates.
Erling Haaland. Oh, and he nearly reached it. But Haaland is given matches. De Bruyne hits the other side of the crossbar. Haaland, 2-0. Erling Haaland has taken the game. Grealish, it's Diaz. It's in, surely. It's now Haaland has brought it in. Manchester City's 100th goal of the season. Erling Haaland, Akanji, Haaland. Mahrez with a cross this time, and another good save. Haaland's scored again. He's got 5 goals. He's deserved a goal tonight. And there it is. It's an absolute blinder.
Quarterfinals. City 3-0 Bayern.
Oh, it's a terrific goal. Wonderful, wonderful goal. Haaland. And here's Bernardo Silva. And Manchester City have a 2-goal lead. Goes in towards Stones, is still there. Haaland had to be. When he falls for him, you know what comes.
Bayern 1-1 City. City eliminates Bayern with authority.
Haaland against Upamecano, who's lost his balance, and Haaland is through! The Nordic goal machine gets another! Short Kimmich, straight down the center as he sends Ederson the wrong way.
Semi-final. Real Madrid 1-1 City.
Scored on the counter. That's beautifully struck and Vinicius to stop it. That's what he can do. De Bruyne! There's the equaliser.
City 4-0 Real Madrid. Historic demolition. City crushes Real and heads to the final.
Bernardo Silva is in and scores. It's Gundogan. Bernardo Silva. A week ago. It's flicked on it in. It's Manuel Akanji. Gundogan, Foden, and here's Alvarez. That's how to round off.
Final. City 1-0 Inter Milan. City finally wins the Champions League and secures the treble.
It'll come for Rodri!
Pep Guardiola transformed City into a powerhouse. His dominance in the Premier League and the 2023 Champions League victory solidified his legacy. Now, the challenge is to keep the club at the top and continue rewriting history. Pep and Guardiola and Klopp starred in one of the greatest rivalries of the modern era. It all started in Germany when Pep managed Bayern and Klopp Dortmund. But it was in the Premier League where the rivalry became legendary. Pep turned City into a trophy machine, while Klopp made Liverpool its greatest rival. The peak came in 2018-19 when City won the league with 98 points, just one ahead of Liverpool. Klopp responded in 2019-20, winning the PL with 99 points. In the following years, both continued competing at the highest level, with Guardiola coming out on top in most seasons. The difference in styles always defined the rivalry. Pep with possession and absolute control, and Klopp with intensity and high pressing. In 2024, Klopp announced his departure from Liverpool, ending a historic era in the Premier League. Pep, in his turbulent moment Manchester City, is currently facing a period of underperformance. In the 2024-2025 Premier League season, the team is in fourth place with 12 wins, 5 draws, and 6 losses, accumulating 41 points. The team scored 47 goals and conceded 30, resulting in a positive goal difference of 17. At the same time, manager Pep Guardiola is going through a delicate personal moment. After 30 years of marriage, he and his wife, Christina Serra, decided to separate. Sources suggest that Guardiola's intense dedication to football, especially after renewing his contract with Manchester City until 2027, contributed to the strain on their relationship. Observers have noted changes in Guardiola's behavior, including signs of stress and irritability, such as sharp responses to fans and more tense attitudes during matches. These factors raise concerns about the impact of his personal life on his mental health and the team's performance. Although there has been no official confirmation about the direct influence of these events on Manchester City's results, the combination of personal and professional challenges may be affecting the club's environment. Guardiola's personal challenges and impact on Manchester City. Manchester City is experiencing one of its worst moments under Pep Guardiola's leadership. In recent matches, the team has given up leads and suffered unexpected comebacks, which has generated a lot of frustration among both fans and behind the scenes. Recurring negative results. City 3-0 Feyenoord. The team had a comfortable 3-0 lead, but conceded a goal and faced excessive pressure in the second half. Thankfully, they held on for the win, but the sense of instability remained. City 1-0 Manchester United. City started well and took the lead with Erling Haaland, but the rivals' quick comeback surprised them, with United closing the match 2-1. City 2-0 Brentford. The team was ahead by 2 goals, but was shocked by a draw, leaving fans perplexed by the lack of defensive solidity. On-field problems. Players like Haaland and Ederson have not been performing as expected. Guardiola, who scored most of the goals last season, seems to be out of form, lacking the same consistency and presence. Ederson, traditionally reliable, has also made mistakes that cost valuable points. Rodri's injury, one of the pillars of the team, destabilized the defense and the game transition, something Pep has yet to fully correct. Theories and jokes after Rodri won the Ballon d'Or. Some jokes began circulating on social media about a possible revenge from the team against the player, in a lighthearted tone, of course. Many joked that Rodri's injury might be a response to this individual achievement, especially from other players like Vinicius Jr., who was one of the favorites in the race. But of course, this is just a teasing without any basis in reality. Impact on the team. What isn't a joke is the real impact on Manchester City's performance. These poor results, along with Rodri's absence, have shown a much more vulnerable team with little tactical identity in recent games. Guardiola, despite his experience, is still looking for a solution to balance the team and get back to winning ways. City's recovery will depend on quick adjustments and perhaps a new mentality in the dressing room, as the team seems psychologically affected by a series of unsatisfactory results. The Manchester City is going through a difficult moment in the 2024-2025 Champions League, with qualification for the next phase of the competition almost jeopardized. The team is in the knockout phase, where it may face giants like Real Madrid or Bayern Munich in the round of 16, which would put even more pressure on the team. Emergency signings. To try to fix the problems, Guardiola went into the market and made some signings, focusing on strengthening the defensive sector. One of the key names was young center-back Kuznetsov, who was brought in to provide more options for the defensive system. However, his debut didn't go as expected, as he made a grave mistake on his first touch against Chelsea, allowing a goal that further hurt the team's confidence. In addition to Kuznetsov, City also signed forward Omar Marmish, who was one of the standout players in the 3-1 victory over Chelsea. Marmish, with his skills and game vision, has shown that he can be an important addition to the squad, despite the challenges faced by the team. Along with the expectation of the recovery of injured players, are expected to bring a new dynamic to the team. However, Manchester City will still have to deal with many challenges, especially if they face opponents like Real Madrid or Bayern in the round of 16 of the Champions League. The team will need to regroup quickly and return to their competitive level, if they want to overcome these adversities and continue chasing more titles.